Today I want to show you another way into the Great Books of the Western World set published by Britannica, and that is a set of volumes called the Great Ideas Program. Hi folks, welcome to Great Books, Big Ideas. I'm Jim. Today I want to talk about a set of 10 supplementary volumes that were added to the Great Books of the Western World set. You can see in those volumes over my shoulder there on that small bookcase. So those were 52 volumes, and then they added in 1959 these extra volumes that I guess were sort of like added value, or they were upselling people on them. And basically what these do is they give you a little bit more guidance, a different way to get into the Great Books set, a different way to read them, and they give you some discussion questions that you can write about or think about or talk about with your friends in your book club. And I wanted to sort of take a look, especially at Volume 1 here, an introduction to the Great Books and to a liberal education, and compare that to the reading plan that they include in Volume 1 of the Great Books of the Western World set. So what were these Great Ideas Program volumes all about? Well, let me run through the 10 volumes. They are grouped by subject. So Volume 1 is a general introduction. Volume 2 is the development of political theory and government. Volume 3 is foundations of science and mathematics. Volume 4, religion and theology. Volume 5, philosophy of law and jurisprudence. Volume 6, imaginative literature, part 1, from Homer to Shakespeare. Book 7, imaginative literature 2, from Cervantes to Dostoevsky. Book 8 is ethics, the study of moral values. And Book 9, biology, psychology, and medicine. And Book 10 was philosophy. I have most of them here to show you. A few I don't have. They might be in the basement. I think I have all 10. Some of them are in hardcover and some of them are in paperback. So when you go to used bookshops, these might turn up. And this is what they are. So this is what they look like. There's Volume 1. Here is a paperback volume, Development of Political Theory and Government. Here we have Philosophy of Law and Jurisprudence. The cover just came off. That's what the spines look like. Another paperback, Foundation of Science and Mathematics. I'm sure I got these in a used bookstore like many years ago. These, though, some of these, I think my family had, but we might not have had all of them. I just don't remember. This is Volume 8, Ethics. Here's Volume 9, Biology, Psychology, and Medicine. And Volume 10, Philosophy. I seem to be missing the 2 literature volumes, and maybe the religion one, but I think they might be in the basement. In any case, that's what they look like. Let's dig into the contents of them and see how they compare to the reading plan. Before I show you the contents of Book 1 of the Great Ideas Program, let me go back to the Great Conversation volume. This is Volume 1 in the Great Books of the Western World set. And if you recall, at the end of this, they have a reading program, a 10-year program, and we'll look at the first year. So remember, 18 readings. This is what you could follow if you just didn't know where to start with the set, and this would give you one way in. Now, these supplementary, we'll look at that more in a second, but these supplementary volumes are more grouped by theme. This one happens to be a general introduction, but the others are more thematically arranged. So if you're interested in a particular subject like math and science, you could just go jump in and they would give you some stuff to follow and think about. So, but this first volume is just more of a general introduction. So let me give you a quick tour of this. So you can see published in 1959 by Britannica. Mortimer Adler was the the one behind this, I think, but we do have a preface by Robert Maynard Hutchins, which isn't very long. This is really a distillation of what he talks about in the Great Conversation essay. I have a whole series of videos on that if you're interested. And we have a foreword. And here are the contents. So you're going to be given like a set of 15 readings here. We have the Apology and Crito by Plato, and let's also compare to the first year of this 10-year program, which you'll see there's a lot of similarities, but they took some things out of this one and they made some I think they might have made a substitution. Let's find out. So anyway, we start with Apology and Crito in this volume. Same thing for the first year of the 10-year plan. Then we have Plato's Republic, and that is books 1 and 2 are here. But you'll notice here that Aristophanes, these two comedies by Aristophanes have been left out of this list. Then we have Oedipus the King and Antigone, and those are actually not in the first year list over here. So that's a change. And then we have selections from Aristotle's Ethics. That is here. And then we have selections from the Politics of Aristotle, also mirroring the first year of the 10-year program. We've got some Plutarch Lives, also in the 10-year program. The 10-year program has some New Testament readings, which these are not in this list. And then we go on to St. Augustine, the Confessions, which you see up here. The Prince by Machiavelli is in the first year of the 10-year plan, but not here. You've got some essays by Montaigne in both. You've got Shakespeare's Hamlet makes it on both lists. Locke concerning civil government on both lists. And then this was a new addition to this volume, and that is Gulliver's Travels by Swift. That is not in this list. And it looks like they left Rousseau out of this list, but the Social Contract is on the 10-year plan, the first year. Gibbon's Decline and Fall, the Roman Empire, makes it to both lists. And then the Declaration of Independence, Constitution, and some Federalist papers are on both. Adam Smith is in the first year of this list, but doesn't make the cut on this introduction. But Marx and Engels, the Communist Manifesto, makes it to both lists. So you can see that there are some significant differences, but a lot of overlap. Now but here's the point. In these reading plans in Volume 1, all they give you is the list. They don't help you out in any other way. So that's why you might want to get a volume like this to give you something to go on. All right, so let's take the first reading. Here's Apology and Crito, 2 dialogues by Plato. It gives you the volume that it appears in the set and the page numbers. It's only 19 pages. And then we have a little introduction to the reading, very brief. Here's your guide to the first reading. And these were probably written by Mortimer Adler. And then in part 3, here are some discussion questions. Should an unjust law be obeyed? What can be done when a law is unjustly applied? What are a citizen's duties and responsibilities when a law is not duly made? Was Socrates justified in disobeying an explicit command because it was unjust? In what sense was Socrates a wise man? How do you interpret the statement, the unexamined life is not worth living? So you can see they give you something to chew on, And they even give you some commentary. Now, this seems to be fly in the face of the advice that Robert Maynard Hutchins gave in his essay, The Great Conversation, where he was saying, you know, the editors of these volumes decided that we didn't want anything extra to cloud your judgment or to steer you or, you know, shade this in a certain direction. We're just giving you the text unadorned, without footnotes, without introductions, without commentaries. And here, in 1959, they're giving you sort of a bunch of stuff to go off of, probably because customers demanded it, or, like I said, they might have just been looking for an opportunity to upsell customers and say, hey, you might need some help. Now, if you're pursuing some kind of like self-education program, and maybe you're in a homeschooler, and I don't know much about homeschooling, but it seems to me that volumes like this could be a real help. Or if you have a book group, volumes like this could be certainly useful to get the discussion going. And then they have some self-testing questions. So, you know, little quiz questions, and then in the back, I think they give you some answers. And the answers are, like, here's where the pages where you can look up how to answer those questions. All right? Okay, so that's what these look like. And they're fairly straightforward. None of the guide pages are very long, but it does give you some help if you need it. So that's my rundown of the Great Ideas program. And let me know if you have any of these volumes, if you have found them useful at all. I do remember dipping into them on a couple of occasions when I was teaching. So, for instance, it might have been when I was teaching like Oedipus the King or Antigone or a text like that. And I think I borrowed some of those discussion questions that were, and I adapted them for the classroom. I used them a few times, and it just helped me in general to prepare. So I think teachers could actually find these somewhat helpful too. But anyway, I don't know what they cost back in the day, but these were sold to people who had bought the Great Books sets, and they were you can find them out in the field occasionally if you dig, and that's what they are. So in any case, a little bit of like some supplemental educational material if you're interested in great ideas. That's it for this edition of Great Books, Big Ideas. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Bye-bye.